No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby and today we are going to be talking about D'Angelo Wallace's new video about BTS. Now before I begin, my fan is on. My fan is on. You can probably hear it because it's hot. There's nothing that I can do about that, so I apologize. So this audio might be terrible. We'll see once I get to editing it. Number 2, this video is gonna be long. Like, I was clowning him for making a 32-minute video about something that he did not like. But I mean, he can do whatever he wants at the end of the day, and I was clowning him for that. But this video might be longer because I jotted down the points that I want to hit, and there are a lot of points that I want to talk about, so it might be long. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but we will see what happens. Just know whatever stays in this video needs to stay in here. I'm gonna try to trim it down as much as possible. So there are going to be 2 parts to this video. The first part is I'm going to talk about why his opinion was wrong. That sounds kind of wild when I say it, but like, for example, right? Let's talk about the fruit discourse that y'all were having on my timeline on Sunday. Was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. People were saying that they don't like bananas. I like bananas. People saying that they don't like bananas is an opinion, and that's cool. You can have your opinion, but then when you tell me that you don't like bananas because every time somebody eats a banana, the sun has a less chance of rising, I'm gonna look at you funny. I'm gonna look at you funny because, yeah, that's your opinion, but your opinion isn't rooted in anything concrete. That's why it doesn't make any sense, and that's why it won't hold. And I think that's what happened throughout the majority of this entire video. There were a lot of contradicting points, things that didn't make sense, things that were downright offensive, and we're gonna talk about them. But that's where my premise lies. Is just like, you can have an opinion, but don't try to make your opinion seem objective, or don't try to act like you're coming off as neutral. And we're going to talk about that as well. My second point before we get started, no one said that you're not allowed to like the song. Nobody. You are allowed to like and dislike whatever you want. Everything that you like isn't going to be what I like, and everything that I like isn't going to be what you like. Such is the fact of life. No one cares that you don't like a song. What people care about is the asterisk that comes after I don't like the song, because it's never just, well, I don't like the song, or this one just wasn't for me. It's always, I don't like the song because dot 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 dot, and the dot 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 that comes after the because is usually something racist and or xenophobic. And I'm not saying that he was racist and xenophobic. Some people will view a lot of the things that he said problematic, just like I do, but you can dislike whatever you want to. It's just the reasons for your dislike is gonna get you jumped, and sometimes I agree. I agree, because some of y'all be acting the fool. So the first part of the video is going to be why he did not like the song, which is, I think, is kind of weird. You'll see why. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to talk about some of the larger issues that I think are surrounding this that didn't sit right with me. And once again, I'm going to try to keep it short, but we'll see what happens. So from my understanding, from my listening comprehension, what he didn't like was based around 3 things: lyrics, autotune, and production. We're gonna get into lyrics. From what he said, and this is from the video, from what he said, because he didn't talk about any other lyrics at all, but from what he said, he did not like the na 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 na. I'm not even getting the rhythm of the nas right, but you know what I'm talking about. He didn't like that part, and he didn't like June's walk the walk, talk the talk line. Now, we're gonna start with the na-na-na-na-nas, because if anyone ever looks in your face, like I'm looking at you now, and they ever try to tell you that na-na-na-na-na is a lyric, just look at them with a blank stare because they don't deserve a response, but I'm gonna try to give one. Na-na-na-na-na is not a lyric. Na-na-na-na-na is a call and response. Multiple songs have call and response. It's like when you're performing the song, in order to engage the audience, you sing it and then they sing it back to you. That's what that is. So that's my first point regarding the whole na-na-na-na-na, since he didn't like it so much. But then he talked, we're not even going to get into that. So that's the na-na-na-na-na. And then in relation to the na-na-na-na-na, I think it was funny that he didn't talk about the visual in relation to that, because he talked about the visual in relation to something else that we're going to get to a bit later. But the fact that it wasn't brought up once, that the na-na-na-na-na part that he didn't like so much in the video, in the visuals, within the choreography, there is, I believe it's a mix of the three. So, and I wouldn't have brought this up if he didn't bring it up. But there's a mix of Korean Sign Language, American Sign Language, and International Sign Language, I believe, that is integrated into the choreography of the song, which is related to the na-na-na-na-na part, which makes the song a lot more accessible. So I think that it's strange that he didn't talk about that. Maybe he didn't know. Who knows? I don't know. But that's kind of jarring, seeing that you talked about the visuals in relation to everything else. So there's that. So there's the na-na-na-na part, and then there's the walk the walk, talk the talk. I think that this part was kind of dumb, because if you extrapolate any singular line from any song, you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? So one of my favorite songs is I Want to Be Yours by Arctic Monkeys, and that song starts off with, I want to be your vacuum cleaner. That is the first line that Alex Turner decides to say. And if I just take that line out of that song and I present it to anybody, they're gonna look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is this? But if I present the song in context, they might be like, oh, okay, I see where he was going with this. Or they might not like it, because it's all subjective. They might not like it, right? So I think just saying those two, he didn't bring up any other lyrics, which I thought was kind of strange, but saying that those are the reasons that you don't like the song, by like extracting certain parts of it and then presenting it to your audience, is kind of weird. So that was the first part. The next part is in relation to him, but not specifically. So I learned creative writing in school, and maybe it's because I read a lot of books, but I don't know what the issue with metaphors and similes are. Yes, we can say that Butter. No, let's start with Dynamite. Dynamite was the first one. Yes, we can say that Dynamite had lyrics relating to LeBron James. Butter had lyrics relating to Michael Jackson. And now we have Permission to Dance with Elton John. Okay? And Smooth Like Butter, Like a Criminal Undercover. That paints an image in your mind. And you think of, oh, Michael Jackson. Up to the top like LeBron. That paints an image in your mind. LeBron James. Everybody knows who these figures are. Elton John. You can think of an Elton John song like, oh, okay, sing along like Elton John. Okay, cool. It's writing. Literally, it's a metaphor and a simile. That's what it is. I don't know what the issue is with that, which is why I was so confused. And when I realized that the song had went over his head is when he said that Permission to Dance is a song about dancing. Permission to Dance is not a song about dancing, because Permission to Dance is one great metaphor. I know that we've already established that it's fun, it's cute, it's something for the summertime, something for the girls to get ready and party to, but I don't like the fact that everybody's like, the lyrics, the lyrics, the lyrics. It's one giant metaphor. I have the June quote in front of me. So it says, happiness is not something that you have to achieve. You can still feel happy during the process of achieving something, and to me, that's what that song represents. I'm not going to read the lyrics because we'd be here all day if I had to sit and analyze Permission to Dance lyrics, but it's not about dancing, more as it's like you can just let go of your burdens for a little while, and we don't have to wait until all of this is over to feel some form of happiness. It's okay to be happy once in a while. It's okay to release your burden once in a while. It's okay to, like, when we overcome something. So like permission to dance, permission to be happy. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only person that interpreted it like that because I'm used to reading and looking in between the lines. Like, I don't know. And even if you don't look at it in such a symbolic way, there's nothing wrong with the lyrics. So I'd just like to state that. But in his opinion, why he didn't like the lyrics so much, it's the da na 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 na, which isn't a lyric, it's the call and response, and the talk the talk, walk the walk, which is just extrapolated, like a line from a song. That I can extrapolate any line from any famous or like well-written song, and then you'd be like, what the fuck? So I didn't think that like made sense the way that it was presented. Maybe it's just me, child. Maybe it's just me. And he was also going on about there being no rapping. Come to find out, like, I just finished watching the June live, and he was like, yeah, the rap just did not fit the song. So who'd have thought that, like, artists and musicians are making music and they're doing whatever is best for the song. So there's that. The second reason that he did not like the song, because of the autotune. Okay, I guess, but he kept saying that Permission to Dance is 100, I think he said 100. It was either 10 or 100. 100 times more. There's 100 times more autotune in Permission to Dance than there was in Map of the Soul, and I'm just like, what song did you listen to? Maybe it's my ear. Maybe I'm just not, because y'all hear any kind of vocal distortion and then y'all say it's auto-tune. I'm sorry. In my humble opinion, I'm saying opinion because I want to keep it cute and I want to keep it classy. There was not a lot of like auto-tune on the song. There was like vocal distortion. There was a lot of like vocal compression. But there wasn't that much auto-tune. And what are my credentials to say this? Quick sideline. Y'all don't care about me. I know, but quick sideline. My uncle has been doing music for 50 years, and when I was younger, he used to take me to the studio with him. I cannot sing, and therefore, a level of auto-tune was placed on my voice to get the correct pitch. And I would just look at him like, why do you even want me on this damn album? I can't hold a note. And then he's just like, it's okay, it's fine. So I know what auto-tune, and I was also there when they were putting auto-tune on the singers who could sing. So I know what auto-tune sounds like. It's not every time you hear a little vocal distortion, it's auto-tune. Like, sometimes, maybe, but the way that y'all are auto-tune, 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 like, a vocal effect doesn't necessarily have to be auto-tune. I didn't hear all of the auto-tune that he was saying there was in the song, so who knows? But my thing is that it was just rude, because how are you gonna tell these people, how are you gonna say, I can't, with Yoongi's verse, he's like, I can't believe that this isn't a professional song. Now you're just being hyperbolic. Now you're just like, now you're just being rude just to be rude, because I don't like that. I don't know, something about that I just did not like. And that's all that he went on and on and on about autotune. Like, okay, it's not 2009, death of autotune. I get it, but it didn't happen. Here we are. Okay, Now we get into the production. He didn't like the production, but this is also the person who didn't like Boy of Love. He called Boy of Love commercial. Just because something is commercial doesn't mean it's bad. There were a lot of people when Boy with Love came out that tried to convince me that Boy with Love is a bad song. Boy with Love is not a bad song. Boy with Love is serotonin. He called it super basic, which I disagree with. So there's that. And also, before I move on, pro tip. Some of you may not survive and some of you might. In your playlist, Telepathy, Permission to Dance, followed by Boy with Love. I did something. It came up and I was cleaning my room and I just had to stop because I was just like, inject every part of that into my veins because I need it. But other than that, those are the reasons why he did not like the song. And then you can click out of this video right now because it is already 15 minutes long. But those were the reasons why. And you see how I just went through them and then told you like why. It's not, I don't like when people try to say, oh, okay, this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. And then you try to get technical with things like music production and then try to act like it's objective. No, it's not, because you can say you don't like the song, but then you can't towards the end of the video say, well, if they want to attract a new audience, this is not the right way to do it. That would be an objective claim. You can't do that. You can't have it both ways. So those are the things that he didn't like about the song specifically. Now we're gonna get into things I just thought were questionable, to say the least. Let's talk about the music video. The scene with people removing their masks. I can see how people would take that in the context that he did. I don't see it that way, but it's like with COVID-19, we're almost to the end, but then you're not to the end, because people are saying that it's over when people in North America are getting vaccinated, and they've patented the vaccine, while people in quote-unquote developing countries or previously colonized countries are saying that they won't get their population vaccinated till 2023. I can see where some people might feel uncomfortable with that scene, especially since we have the Delta variant like breathing down our necks. I did not take it that way, and apparently the music video is set in the future in 2022. I didn't even know that it was set in 2022, and I still did not take it that way. I think I missed that day on Twitter for that little nugget of context, because y'all be seeing things in teasers and I'm just looking at people's faces. But that's my flaw. I think it's weird, for lack of a better term. I think that it's strange, because when he was talking about that specific part in the video, he was like, people are taking off their masks. Well, the people that had on masks, of course BTS wasn't wearing a mask. I felt some kind of way because of the way that he said it, but in the back of my mind I was like, Gabby, you're being like, based on how the video was going, I was just like, you're being overly sensitive. That it doesn't mean anything. And then the more he kept talking, the more I was just like, because there's something strange about accusing 7 Korean men and their production company, which is based in Korea, and to say that they are promoting an anti-mask anthem. That was not where I thought that it was going to go. Those were his words, and just with everything in context, like when we get like more and more, I was just like, how dare you? I know that this pandemic has been taxing on a lot of Asian people, and I can't speak to that personally, but I do have a window into BTS's experience because I'm on ARMY Twitter, and we're not gonna act like the entire world hasn't been using, in addition to like Asian people, they haven't been using BTS as the punching bag for their bad COVID takes, their bad COVID jokes. We're not gonna act that hasn't been happening. So when he said, of course BTS aren't wearing a mask, I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to say? I find the insinuation practically disgusting, and as I said before, I can only speak on BTS because I have like a window into it, because I've seen the nasty shit that y'all say online. And the thing is, maybe he doesn't know, because he said towards the end of the video that he isn't particularly interested in BTS, but BTS has been masked up from the start of this entire thing. I remember that one Twitter user who got, when they said that, I think it was at MMA, and they said that nobody was wearing a mask before BTS was, and no one was coming up with their separate mics because BTS was. They got ate up on Twitter, but I'm here to bring them their reparations today because they were right. They were right. BTS will be in lives with each other wearing masks, and they're a part of each other's immediate circle. When the rest of the world were saying that masks doesn't do anything, all of the Asian countries were wearing masks. So I think that this insinuation that it's an anti-mask song with everything that has been going on, I think that that's very, very problematic. And also, there weren't any COVID guidelines being broken in the video. With all of the people taking off their masks, they're either in the video by themselves or they're in groups of 5 or less. There was this one couple kissing that he brought up for some reason. Couples kiss. Couples are around each other. Maybe the symbolism, and I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a right to feel like uncomfortable. Maybe the symbolism passed over his head, and he has a right to feel uncomfortable. As I said, like there's a lot of shit going on with COVID still right now, but to insinuate that they've created an anti-mask anthem is just disgusting on all kinds of fronts, and I don't know how that, I don't know. Next, he does not understand. Now, this was early, I think this was like 5 minutes into the video, and this admittedly is when I stopped taking what he was saying seriously, because he said that and my first instinct is like, you are not going there, because I can understand what they're saying. He's the only person who has this, at least from what I've seen, he's the only person who's like, I can't understand what they're saying. He showed this video in the beginning of JK, because JK started the song, and he was saying that Jungkook sounded Spanish. Habla un poquito de español, and he did not sound Spanish at all. That was just their accent, which means that inadvertently or not, you're making fun of their accent and you're making fun of their English pronunciation, which is problematic in and of itself. I'll say problematic. And also it also intensifies because towards the end you were saying that, let me pull it up because I have it in front of me because I thought that it was pretty weird. He says, I like BTS putting out songs in English because it would be easier for me to understand, but look where that got us, insinuating that you don't understand them speaking or singing in English, which is like, the song is clear, maybe it's just me once again, but you're the only person that I've heard, like, putting aside the start at the beginning, you said that sounded like Spanish. The middle of the middle of the song that he played after did not sound like Spanish. So I'm confused as to how that has like a place in the conversation. It doesn't. It sounds like English. I don't get off, like, I don't understand people's need to come for people's English pronunciations. Even if they're, if it's like good or bad, who the like, I'm gonna just leave it at that. You can read and therefore you can enjoy a non-English song. That's up to you if you want to do it or not. So there's that. The next point that I have, we are almost to the end, I promise. The next point that I have, you are not superior because you listened to one BTS album and you looked up some translations. I'm sorry. That's what you're supposed. If you intend to critique an album in a language that you do not speak, you're gonna have to look up English translations. You're gonna have to look up who's singing what. I don't have to give you a kudos for doing something that you should already be doing. And this is where it got a little bit weird to me with the whole I don't understand what you're saying and like the complexity of the song. Like, you're not special because you can research Korean lyrics to a Korean album. That is the bare minimum. You're not special for doing that. Armies do that all of the time, all day, every day. That should be the bare minimum. And I'm not even gonna get on the people who don't want to read lyrics, because y'all are a whole other head case that we're not gonna discuss in today's video. But you should be doing that already. And I know you've only done one album because you kept the whole na 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 thing. Do you know how many songs across the Korean discography that have na 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 in it? Like, it's there. Get over it. And Permission to Dance inserts itself perfectly into the rest of BTS's discography. So I don't know where you get off saying that, oh, like, this is not their potential. This is what I thought they sounded like before I knew what they sounded like. That's your fault for ascribing like stereotypes onto them in the first place. Nobody told you that this is what they sound like. You came up with that conclusion all on your own. And if you're gonna come up with stereotypes for a group because this is what you thought that they sounded like, and like, oh, now this is what I thought they sounded like, and it just doesn't make any sense, and it comes off very, very disingenuous, you know. And my next point, no, you are not separate from the K-pop conversation. You have inserted yourself into the K-pop conversation. That's where I was confused at the end as well. Like, you've made 3 videos about BTS at this point. You also made another video about how K-pop stans are toxic, which, side note, people are toxic. There are toxic people in the world. I don't believe that people are born good. That's just my opinion. I think we have to make decisions every day that reflect who we are or who we want to be as a person. People are toxic. So obviously there are going to be people on Stan Twitter, people in fandoms who are toxic as well. So I don't get why, like, I've been in a number of these communities. So I've been in the gaming community, I'm in the anime community, and the anime community is way worse than the army community. I'm not even gonna say K-pop Twitter because that's a whole nother side of Twitter that I'm not a part of. So the anime community, anime Twitter is very, very, very toxic, but I don't hear people talking about, like, sports Twitter is toxic, Marvel Twitter is toxic, but y'all just want to, y'all are just so hyper focused and hyper fixated on BTS Twitter. There are a lot of reasons for that we just don't have the time to get into, but I want to say that you are not devoid from the K-pop umbrella because you've inserted yourself into the conversation. You're making videos about it. You've made videos about BTS. You've made videos about, like, K-pop stans. You're here. You're here. Accept it and then move on. I want to close my video in the way that he started his video. He starts off by saying that people are going to watch and people are going to find the points that they disagree with, and ... It's me. I'm people. Hello, how are you? okay. My response to that is okay. There are a lot of people who go on the internet and watch people talk about the things that they like. I understand that not everybody is going to love BTS as much as I do. Not everybody is going to have a positive opinion. But to expect people not to watch what you put out and have an opinion on it is kind of weird. Like, take your own advice. I would say to that, take your own advice. It's the reason why reaction channels are so profitable. It's a human thing. Like, you want to show somebody something that you're interested in, and your hope is that they like it as well. You are profiting off of it as well, just in a different way, because you're hoping that people click and hate it. Let's start here. I'm watching the video because I like BTS and I want to see this because I knew that this video was coming. But you're making the video in an attempt of like 3 things. Army's gonna watch it and then hate watch it. BTS antis are gonna watch it and then love it, and then people who watch your channel are just gonna watch your channel anyway. So at like any scenario, this is going to be amazing for you. So just say that with your chest. You posting a poll on, I don't know if it was Twitter or I don't know if it was YouTube chat. It came across my Twitter. You posting a poll and then saying, I have a controversial video, I'm not here for the mess, ... lies. Just say that you're here for the mess. Stand in it. Be proud. It reminds me of people who talk about BTS on Twitter and then they just use hashtag that group when referring to them. Say BTS, just say it with your chest and then move on. Say what you have to say with your chest. Stand in your truth and get dragged in your truth is my philosophy, because I'm not afraid to stand alone in my truth. You like the mess, you like the controversy because it brings you rage clicks. Just say that. Just say that. It's really not that hard to say. And my last point to the video, he's biased and I'm biased. I recognize my bias. People who watch this video are going to recognize my bias, but people who watch his video aren't going to recognize his bias in the same way, and he plays into that because I am a BTS stan. There are things that come along with that title, and people are less inclined to take what I say or listen to what I say because I have a close connection with this thing, because I like this thing. People are going to view his opinion as more superior because, oh, I don't like it, and therefore I have a superior opinion. That's what happened with Map of the Soul 7, that review. So that's how people are going to take it. For example, I had this one prof in university and she was a black woman, and I took a course. The course was Women in Pop Culture, and then we got to a specific part of the syllabus where it was talking about black woman depiction in certain types of media, and she was very honest with us. She's like, every time I get to this portion, I feel like I will be taken less seriously because I am a black woman, and therefore people are less likely to take my word for what it is, and they're more likely to listen to a white woman saying the exact same thing that I'm saying, because white women wouldn't have any stakes in that conversation. And I feel like this is the same vein. Like, people see that we have stakes in this conversation, so they're less likely to listen to what we say, whereas both of us have bias. And that's one of the reasons why I was put off by the video, because you clearly have bias. You kept saying your opinion, but like you're obviously playing into the fact that people are going to listen to you because you don't have an attachment to this thing. And it isn't his fault, but to act like he isn't playing into that, that's kind of like misleading to your audience, in my opinion. Now, before I go, I need to talk about armies. I need to talk, y'all have been pissing me off lately. Y'all really have, and this is coming from a place of love. Y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to stop giving people who say too kind words to BTS clout, because I promise you it's not getting us anywhere. It's really not getting us anywhere. Like, on the video of the Map of the Soul stop it, I'm filming. On the Map of the Soul video where he was like, he looked up lyrics, everybody in the comments was just like, oh my gosh, you looked up lyrics, oh my god. I need to put my phone on silent. Everybody was just like, you looked up lyrics, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. Nobody ever looks up lyrics. And it's really not our fault. I understand you. The bar has been on the floor. The bar has been in hell, actually. Every time people talk about BTS, we're just hoping that they don't say something racist. And I understand. So when people say two nice things about BTS, we just say, oh my god. That Map of the Soul 7 review was trash. I don't know why y'all were hyping it up so much. It was trash, but we move. I think we need to get better. BTS is BTS. Like we need to start acting like BTS is the biggest group in the world. I'm just going to say that. Don't let people come in and appease you with like too flattering statements and then you're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because I promise you it's not. So don't let people do that to you. But yeah, that is the end of the entirely way too long video, but I had a lot to say and I hope that I made sense, because I'm not the most articulate person in the world. But yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.